Hey, it's never over and welcome to a brand new video and a brand new day where today I will be once again reminding you where we came from on this channel. We started as an Overwatch channel back in 2017. Angela was around, now I'm alone. But here we are, talking about Overwatch in the brand spanking new year of 2022. New is a way to put it. But anyway, I, for a while now, have been wanting to talk about the Overwatch 2 beta and just Overwatch 2 in general because I've been excited for it kind of in the background from the perspective of this channel, but on Twitch, you'll know that I was very excited to play it. And it's been a few weeks now since the beta let out, so I figured, you know, everyone's on multiverses, so the people who are left who care about Overwatch are probably going to care more about this video, and all the regular people, you know, they've gotten out of here, so we don't need them anymore. But before I get into my spiel, you should like this video, you should subscribe, you should ring that bell, and come back for more. Do I need to say more? I'm just saying, that's would be cool. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's get into the video, shall we? So before I start talking about the beta, I just want to say that I enjoyed it very much. Overall, I thought it was a good beta. Not factoring in that it was a beta, taking it at face value, I enjoyed it. Compared to the old game, it was much better. Anyone who tells you it's exactly the same is lying to you, and they have not played the game. But speaking as someone who has played Overwatch on and off since Orisa, like a little bit before Orisa came out, I started playing like a few weeks before Orisa got like a teaser trailer. Speaking from that perspective, it is very different than the base Overwatch game. With that out of the way, I think I will touch on the good parts first. Well, actually, I should touch on the bad parts first. First off, what I think was problematic, not to use Zoomer lingo here, but what I think was problematic about this beta was it had the same issues as the first game in a lot of ways, where whenever you got pushed back as a team, it would be very hard to recover if your team was terrible at working together. But on the flip side, I would say that in Overwatch 2's beta versus the first game, it's a lot easier to push back when you're having trouble. It's a lot easier to coordinate your team and push the other team off a point or off a payload if you need to. Secondly, I think that the game does feel a significant amount better in terms of like the 1v1 scenarios when you're fighting someone. No one in this game necessarily feels like a hard counter. They more so feel like a soft counter in a lot of ways. Like characters that could counter like Sigma, let's say, because I played Sigma a lot in Overwatch 1. Sombra, Junkrat. Anyone who could really get close to Sigma could kind of decimate him because he has a very hard time attacking very close up. At least from my experience, alright, Sigma players, don't rise up and take me out right now. But because of all the tank buffs, it felt like you would have to have 2 damage on you in the other tank versus just 1 damage person who could mow you down immediately. Even though if you're bad, you're going to die. However, it felt a lot harder to... in Overwatch 2, it feels a lot more difficult to die if you know what you're doing a little bit more, versus the first game where I feel like you just constantly were just out of there all the time. You could be like trampled on consistently all the time throughout the entire match, and it was so annoying. But in the second game, it actually feels better to engage and be aggressive and fight back alongside your team. And you were still punished for going in alone, which I feel like is fair because the game, I think, does a good job of encouraging you to work together a lot more. I like that the characters feel more fun. I know I said I'd be talking about negatives, but I'm going into positives. Okay, another negative that I have is something that I think will be fixed eventually, which is supports right now are still the least played class in the game. And I think that'll be fixed over time. because the Overwatch team has been very specific about wanting characters to appear more fun, and therefore people will play them. And that's why they looked into changing supports, like the change they did to Moira. But now apparently they might be reverting that, so get rid of that. But she might get something else, who knows? However, the tanks, they changed Doomfist to a tank, they reworked Orisa, they've tweaked abilities on other tanks like Roadhog. His ult works differently, you can use your abilities while playing him. They made a lot of changes to tanks to make them more fun. They also added Junker Queen. She's very fun to play. I honestly missed the beta because I was playing Junker Queen and having a blast. But I also really loved playing Orisa too. And I've noticed that in the open queue in the beta, way more people wanted to be a tank than a damage. And that, I feel like, says something about how fun tanks are to play in the game. The damage, as usual, is also very popular, but tank now feels just as popular, honestly. If not, maybe a little more, because there's a lot of fresh new additions to the tanks. But as always, support, being the runt of the classes, gets picked the least. I will say though that since they're looking into tweaking abilities for supports, I hope they're adding a new support character too by release. It's very exciting to hear. I know a lot of people have theorized about who that character would be, but there's nothing confirmed yet. But they are supposed to release something about the character in the coming months leading up to the release that I'm excited for, and I hope everyone else is too. We'll probably release a video on that when that time comes. Support, I believe personally, because I'm a flex player, I play everything. Support is actually a pretty fun class to play in Overwatch 2. I think that Brigitte feels very good to play in Overwatch 2 versus 1, because in 1 you'd get demolished and you would just not be able to recover completely. In 2 they added like passives to every class, and the support passive makes it so you just naturally heal over time, which feels great depending on the support you play. It felt great for Brigitte, felt really good for Lucio, and it just makes support overall a very viable class to play, and you do not die nearly as often because of that. Mercy is like unkillable in this game because of the super jump tweak as well, but I feel like that makes them better. I feel like Mercy looked really cool, and I hope the tweaks they continue to make to her work out more, because I played her in Overwatch 2 and it actually felt pretty fun, and I had literally never touched Mercy before. I'm more of like a Brigitte, Moira, and like Baptiste player. I tried out Ana a little bit back in the day too, but not that much. I play like half the roster in that game, I'll just be honest with you. But yeah, it feels fun to play support in the game, but until they change up some abilities or add some new support characters, I think that support is going to be a very hard class to make look appealing to a wider audience, because people normally see support and they're like, ew, gross, why would I help people? I just want to kill. But it's like, Moira can kill. I've carried many a team as a Moira because she outputted so much damage, and people would just like, I don't know, pass that off or something. Or like as Brigitte, I would like, and especially in Overwatch 2, I would destroy people. Like, it feels really good to play a support, but like you just have to pick your support basically. Even Ana feels like really good to play in Lucio. Like if you can aim and if you're really good at evading people, you can destroy people. But unfortunately, they're still just not a very popular class, and I hope that when the game officially comes out, the port will be tweaked a little more to make it more appealing, so that you don't have like massive queue times when the game officially comes out, because throughout the beta, the queue times were for like tank and damage were always above 10 minutes. And you know, during like the low periods were like around 7 minutes, 8 minutes. It never dipped below that. And like support was like 2 minutes. Around there. It wasn't that bad at all. But with open queue, that problem is a little easier to deal with, but it's open queue, so yeah, you kind of maybe would be forced to play support depending on how much you really want to win. I do think that Overwatch 2 is going in a very positive direction, and I'm very excited to play more of it because I did have a lot of fun in the beta playing Sombra, like May's tweak felt really good. Playing Brigitte was awesome. Playing Orisa, Junker Queen felt fantastic. I loved that. I actually didn't get to try out Doomfist, but I might try him on October 4th when the game officially comes out. But yeah, it was a fun beta. I look forward to more. And you know what? Leave a comment down below if you got to try out the beta. Did you enjoy it? Like, what did you feel about it? Did you hate it? If you disagree with me, I would love to hear some points. Or if there's something I missed, because I do genuinely feel like the issues in the second game are also issues in the first game, but the second game just gets rid of so many issues, like too many shields, stuns, like it does such a good job, and I want to give them credit where credit is due. So with that, leave a like on this video, subscribe once again, ring that bell, and yeah, my name's Julian, and it's been never ever. Talk to you guys next time. Bye bye.